Cavalier fans, the second half of the season is upon us, and the push for the playoff starts tonight in Detroit. It's Cavs Encapsulated, episode 18. Roll the intro. Just to start, as our usual, we really want to appreciate and say thank you to everybody who has been watching our videos, liking, subscribing, commenting down below, having interactions with other fans of the Cleveland Cavaliers in the community. We're so close to that 500 subscriber goal, that 500 subscriber milestone. So we really do appreciate it if you tell your friends, if you tell your family, and tell them to subscribe as well. We're starting off negative. I hate to do it. And I'm going to start with Justin after I say my piece because I'm starting off with a rant. I really do hate to start like this. I don't want to come out of the break in this manner, but this is just what has to be talked about. Darius Garland, this is my first bullet point. Darius Garland will receive flack for participating in All-Star Weekend and then being out tonight against the Detroit Pistons. We're recording this at 1:30 Eastern time on February 24th. We're playing the Pistons later. It's usually a Tuesday show, but it's a Thursday show today because we got to get game predictions out. Justin, comment on how you feel about that.
I'm probably going to be the exact opposite then from everyone because I honestly don't really care. Honestly, Chris Paul did the same thing, and he's going to have to get surgery, and 6 to 8 weeks he's going to be out. So the All-Star game is typically just something that, listen, he was a first-time player in the All-Star game. It was his first time around, and that's not an opportunity that a lot of players get in their career, if at all. So, he's young, obviously dealing with that back injury. We don't have a specific, what it is, if it's cramps, if it's soreness, whatnot. But that back injuries are finicky in sports. I think that's possibly like one of the worst injuries you can sustain because you never know what you need to do in order to make it 100%. If you get surgery, sometimes that's catastrophic to someone's career. You don't know how you can recover from that because it's really interconnected with your core muscles and everything. So it's a tough ask to figure out what's right to do with Darius Garland. Do you get the surgery and maybe call it quits for this entire year for him, or do you have games where you sit him and you let him rest a little bit and have him play the quote unquote more important games down the stretch? So I'm not honestly upset about him playing the All-Star game, but it is an upsetting situation in general just to have him out.
I'll start by saying this. I mean, what was the point of the All-Star game if we couldn't get – or All-Star break, rather, if we couldn't have our team at full strength? That's what we were kind of hanging our head on, thinking we could come out of the All-Star break and win 3 straight games against teams that we should beat.
Yep.
Now we're down LeVert 1 to 2 weeks. Garland, like Justin said, it's totally an anomaly right now. We don't really know what games he'll play, what games he won't. But I do agree with Justin in that I'm not upset that he played in the All-Star game. I think Kevin Love – in his 4 years here with LeBron, 2014 to 2018, he either made 1 or 2 All-Star games, but he was injured for both or one of those appearances. And he never played, and it kind of felt empty. It almost felt like he wasn't even selected as an All-Star when you don't see him wearing what was either a really good jersey or really crap jersey, depending on what the All-Star marketing team decided to put out there that season. But, no, I think for Garland, it was good to see him and Allen both represented in the All-Star game. It does suck, and we have to see what happens with this situation. But, yeah, it is frustrating because right now, 35-23, Boston's hot on our tails. We're in a constant battle with Philly. A couple of teams there between 7 and 9, maybe even 10, all have pretty good records and are also playing good basketball right now. Brooklyn's 31-28, and they just totally redid their roster, and they have they're going to be coming up those rankings real quick. So any game Garland doesn't play in, it kind of feels like a game he should play in, but this is the situation. So, yeah, it's a rant. This is upsetting. This sucks as news. And as a Cavalier fan, we just have to be patient, understand what we've done this year, and trust that this team can keep a hold of what they've been doing all season.
And just a couple points to go off of that. So I'm hearing from the team that it's just aches. This is what I don't understand. And Justin said maybe it's something more serious. He was hinting to that, might need more attention. That's what I'm wondering, though. Is it more serious? Does he need reevaluated? Do we even know this information? And two, like, this is obviously they play a professional sport at a very high level. I don't think the All-Star game was played at a very high level. This is what I'm not understanding. He's 22 years old. He's been dealing with back aches at 22 for what, 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not liking the situation. And here's the thing. I do agree sentimentally in the sentiment that if you're selected to the All-Star game, you want to play. But the dude is, like I just said, he's 22 years old. He's an upcoming point guard in the league. If you're not, this is going to sound toxic. It's fine. If you're not betting on yourself that you're not going to be back, that's even worse. Expect yourself to be back. Expect to be an all-star the next 10 seasons if you're really going to play at this level, if you think you could even play even better and you're still young. So I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding how he's done the skills challenge. He did all that. Then he plays. I don't even know how many minutes he played in the actual game, but he was out there for, he played a decent amount of minutes, I think, but I'm just not getting it. I don't like, optically, it looks so bad.
I don't think so. I mean, again, you look at Karis LeVert's injury, and we don't know how that happened. I guess it's more of like not knowing the full situation that upsets me. And, if that's on the part of the team to actually give away or whatever, it's, it is what it is. But in terms of just dealing with injuries, pro athletes, if you're a Cleveland sports fan, you've seen in the past week, people talk about injuries and stuff. So, playing through certain injuries, you have certain feelings about it. Players have certain feelings about it. And I'm not going to proclaim to be a expert in any sense of the way when I say these things. But I had my senior year, I my back up, and you can believe that. I apologize, but I messed my back up really, really bad right before my senior season of football. And I had to get 2 major cortisone shots before the season started, and then in the middle of the season, I had to miss a game for that. And it's something that, it never really healed until I quit football and I gave football up. And, I don't want to even think that that's going to be a situation for Darius Garland. I don't know what his situation is compared to mine, but the back is, again, I think it's worse than having, a knee injury, like a significant knee injury or to that extent, anything else. I mean, it's just so finicky, and it's so to the point where you have to judge it on your own, and you have to give yourself leeway on some of those situations.
Sports injuries in general, this season have totally hindered the Cavs. I think this Cavaliers team is a 40-plus win team at this point if we were healthy all season. I mean, honest to God, I think this team had an easy chance at 50 wins. That becomes much harder. I think you have to go 15-9 now to reach 50 wins, not knowing how many games Garland plays of those last 24. It sucks. But it's also one of those things. I think we noticed it. Garland wasn't really moving right on the court. He was kind of stiff with his back. And then he had the one reverse layup, I think, against Milwaukee, where he kind of tweaked it again. And yeah, it's such a nagging injury. It's an injury that, has ended careers early, or not even early, but, at least stopped their greatness. I mean, Austin Carr, I think it was his knees, right, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then Larry Bird, we all know about Larry Bird's bad back. I'm not saying that's Garland's situation, but it is one of those situations that it is a nagging injury every single year. You can't quite be up to snuff, and you can't play in some of the games that you need to play in. What I'm frustrated with is, like we said, the information has kind of been weird this season. Lauri Markkanen's injury, it's like, well, we don't really know how long he's going to be out, but he should be back on this road trip. Maybe not. Maybe after the All-Star game. Oh, now he's probable tonight. Like, what the hell is that?
Stop traveling. If you're not going to play, stop traveling.
Stop. Just get yourself healthy. And then they have like the whole Zion situation, like in New Orleans, where it's like, yeah, he's doing better. He should be back soon. Oh, he had a setback. Okay, now he's out 2 months. Might bring him back. Let's get McCollum here and see if that brings him back. Like, no, the guy's just pissed off, and you don't want to admit it. Like, I guess that's what bothers me about injuries, especially in the NBA this year, is just there's so little information on these injuries. And think about fans who are trying to go to games, right? And they're trying to go see their favorite player. Nowadays in the NBA, it's like you have no idea if that guy's going to play or not, if he's healthy or not, why or what extent or how long this person is going to be out. I just want some damn info more than anything else. And that's what has me more upset than anything else, I guess, about this whole situation.
Absolutely.
This is why you have to lock in with us at Cavs Encapsulated at the Cleveland Pulse. I put together this whole agenda. Justin segues right into it. Logan takes the words out of my mouth. I literally have bullet points for all these talking points. I never tell them what's going to be on, and I've said that before. But the Karis LeVert injury. When did it happen? Why did it happen? Where's the transparency between the organization, the player, and the fans? This is where I feel bad for like reporters, because reporters were saying like last night, the news came out like maybe like even midday. It's like, oh, he's out tomorrow. Well, that's not great. It's like it has to be a somewhat of an injury for him to be missing the first game after being off for a week. Then we hear, oh, it's a foot sprain day to day last night.
Yeah.
Now today, it's 1 to 2 week timetable. We put a lot of screen time, and we don't have to do this. If that's your argument, you don't have to do a podcast, you don't have to do a channel, you don't have to watch the games, you don't have to pay for tickets. Correct. But us as fans, we put a lot of time into this show. We put a lot of watching time into the games, and we put a lot of money into buying tickets. Logan's going to watch the Cavs play in San Antonio against the Spurs. Yep. We deserve transparency. We should hear as soon as it happens. How did he get hurt in practice? Whose foot did he step on? And what's the timetable from the doctor? If I'm the Cavs, I'm just gonna start this off. Like, I should hear from the team doctor. If the players have their own doctors, okay, you better figure that out. We better have a common voice who's like, oh, it's going to be day to day, and now I have to hear that it's 1 to 2 weeks. So I think we just put too much energy into this to not know what's going on. Justin and I went through the whole shebang with the Browns, literally all year, because I hear that it's an ankle, and now it's a soft tissue, and now it's this, that, and the other thing. Who the hell knows? But great segue, you two. Perfect. That's really all.
It's really unfortunate because we have one of the best clinics in the United States, and it's like, hey, you guys know, like, if you need an EMS to run you to Cleveland Clinic real quick, it's a 5-minute ride.
Right.
Come on.
All right, let's hop off of that. Take a deep breath. Let's get into some hopefully, because it's not confirmed. I'm on Twitter, but let's just hope. Okay. Lauri Markkanen returns tonight. Hopefully we could get him back. Let's just check out his stats: 13.6 points per game, or points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists per game. I'm gonna start with Logan. Talk Markkanen and predict a starting lineup tonight for us.
Jeez. What is your starting five? Holy crap. Well, I think Brandon Goodwin's going to get some minutes again.
This is why he should have been getting minutes even when LeVert was here. This is exactly what I was saying about him. He needs to be in the lineup.
I know Windler is with the Charge.
Yeah, played last night.
Yep. So you got Mobley and Allen. You got Okoro. If Markkanen were to return, I think you honestly just throw him back in there, to be quite honest. And I think I'd start Goodwin. Even though he hasn't played in this long, I still think Rondo is such a better leader for the bench than Goodwin would be. I think Goodwin needs to be around good players to be more effective. Not that our bench doesn't have good players. I'm talking like Mobley and Allen. Of course, that brings up the point, well, then Rondo gets less minutes with Mobley and Allen. We've seen that can be pretty effective. But I think if I'm the Cavaliers tonight, I think you need someone who's going to kind of give you a bit of a jolt. So I guess in that regard, does Lamar Stevens sneak back in? Does Lauri have a bit of a minutes restriction? Maybe. Stevens sees a few more minutes tonight. I think from what I would gather, I think they'll probably roll out Goodwin, Okoro, Markkanen, and Mobley, Allen. But if they do want to ease Markkanen in more, I could also see him coming off the bench and throwing Stevens in at 3. We're going to struggle to shoot big time. Big time, especially, and we're going to struggle to get guys who can just get their own bucket. We're going to need Brandon Goodwin to have one of those performances he had this season where he has like 20 points, where he's able to knock down some J's, where he's aggressive on the defensive end. Detroit is no slouch. Their record looks like crap. They're a good team.
They beat us already.
I said it the first time when they did beat us. I thought maybe I should have taken Detroit. Cade Cunningham's really coming along. Saddiq Bey has been a fantastic player all season. If you haven't been watching Detroit basketball, he has been such a pleasant surprise for them. Their Cavs are going to face a team that have guys that can get their own shots. Tonight, the Cavs aren't going to have that, especially with LeVert and Garland down. That's going to be a massive, massive hole. So To answer your question and try to make it not as long-winded, I think that's my starting five. Markkanen's here tonight. You're going Goodwin, Okoro, Markkanen, Mobley, Allen.
Justin, same question to you.
I'm just going to go with the same answer. It makes the most sense, and I think we've seen it already at the point where Garland was out and LeVert was either coming into, what was it, the Indiana game when we traded for him.
Yep.
Wasn't that the lineup? Wasn't it Brandon Goodwin, Isaac Okoro, and then not Lauri Markkanen, but if Lauri's back, he's in the 3 spot, and you have Evan and you have Jared Allen and you have Rondo come off the bench. I think that just makes the most sense. And obviously, like Logan was saying, the importance of guys getting their own shots. We're going to have to see, hopefully Cedi Osman, someone who entered the All-Star break not doing so well, hopefully he returns to his beginning of the season / mid-season form, and him and Kevin can provide some offensive firepower coming off the bench.
I hope they don't do Point Jetty. I know he had 12 assists the last time he did Point Jetty, but I really need him off the bench.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be so massive.
Me too. I'm hoping they took their time with Lauri so he could start tonight. So I agree with both of you guys, really, but I'm trying to find the silver lining here, because we get to see more Goodwin minutes, and we get to see some. Hopefully, Lamar Stevens could play like 15 minutes tonight. I feel like the lineup and the roster has just been so goofy ever since we got LeVert, and that's to be expected. Even since we got Rondo, it's kind of goofy. And to go off of this point, we're gonna go one more point, and then we're gonna go clip reaction, and then we're gonna go to upcoming games predictions. We have a commenter of the week here, and he says, this is Jeff Wishes, and it's not me on a burner, but Jeff Wishes says, on another note, Isaiah Thomas is Darius Garland insurance instead of, he said, Pangos at the end of the bench. Insert IT with Okoro and 3 7-footers. Could y'all make some noise for this?
No, thank you.
So he's a free agent. He's a free agent.
I don't want Isaiah Thomas. He called Cleveland a crap show. I don't want him on my team. I think Isaiah Thomas.
That's like saying you wouldn't want Kyrie back, though.
No, it's not the same.
No, we're not going to get into that conversation.
Also, the
Kyrie said he couldn't stand
Isaiah Thomas is a G League bum.
Isaiah Thomas was an all-star.
He isn't, though. He's not playing on an active NBA team. Kyrie is.
Fact of the matter is, I think Brandon Goodwin could have more of an impact than Isaiah Thomas. I know you want to have. And listen, I'm not trying to hate on Jeff here, not Jeffrey here, but the Jeff commenter.
Just an idea. He wants some conversation.
I do like the idea of floated around, because I think having a guy who is available, who can score the ball, is a good idea. I don't want him, though. Isaiah Thomas didn't like being in Cleveland. He provided zilch.
He gave us the worst effort
to our team.
Of any player.
I think we blew up our team because of Isaiah Thomas, in my honest opinion.
Thank you, Kobe Altman.
That is my honest to God answer. I think Isaiah Thomas, one, can't play a lick of defense. And when I mean he can't play a lick of defense, I mean he can't play a lick of defense. Not even a little bit. He doesn't even try. And then offensively, he's a bucket getter. He's a guy that can create his own shot. But he's gone to a couple teams this year on 10-day contracts, and none of them wanted to keep him. Right. There's got to be a reason for that.
Right.
Yeah, he could be a good 10-day
Especially the Lakers. If the Lakers don't want you after a 10-day.
The Lakers don't even want him. Yeah, no, I'm not here for the Isaiah Thomas back to Cleveland. I hope that guy never wears a Cavalier uniform again. I have nightmares still of him getting rejected at the rim, or him slapping Wiggins across the face. We're down 35 to Minnesota. I'm sorry. Maybe it's a personal thing. I really wanted to like Isaiah Thomas, and I still like the guy's talent, but as soon as he said that was a crap show in Cleveland and he provided nothing, and he talks about this crap, I don't want to see it. No, thank you. I think I got the point out.
I love getting people riled up and people will be at me in the comments, and I'm missing a trade, because I just know I am, because it's tough to think about things on the spot. I really do think the Kyrie trade was maybe one of the worst trades I've ever. And people be like, "Oh, it didn't work out for Boston, so you need to shut up." Yeah, that was one of the worst trades I've ever seen, literally. Kyrie Irving for Isaiah Thomas. But I mean, we brought Goodwin in on a 10-day. I kind of forgot that IT, but no, who really loves Cleveland, except for the guys on this team. That's why we all really like them. But it's like
Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, yeah, when you win a ring, it's it helps, but it's like, yeah, who knows? I don't want to add anyone else because it's like, well, now we already have issues as far as playing time, but we're going from heated to hopefully joyful here with our clip reaction of the week. Let's take a look.
1, 2, ready, go! This is going to be real.
Mobley. Oh, Mobley! It's a winner! The second shot! Evan Mobley!
This is going to sound corny because Justin and I were there. And if you haven't seen our mini vlog, go check it out. It's our most recent upload. And this is going to sound corny because it's a skills challenge and an all-star game. But between that and the shooting, like the 4 and the 5-pointer, we had to move around.
Yes,
the kid is clutch, and that's probably one of my favorite things about him. Like, you're doing this with Giannis, and obviously the other rookie team is not as intimidating, but like, you got to go after Giannis goes, and he just came up. He missed or he might even have made the long one, but no, I think he missed it. And then he didn't miss after that. And then he wins it for you at the end. I love the kid's clutchness. How fun was that? The best event of the night, Justin?
Yes, 1,000%. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. But here's the thing that I want to talk about with Evan Mobley and that specific skills challenge. Dude, he's got such a clean stroke. Like, when you say he's clutch, like, yeah, that was fun for him to hit the half court and whatnot. But I came away from the shooting event of what it was, the shooting portion of what it was, and watching him transition from the 4 to the 5 or whatever, the corner 3 and the
elbow,
the elbow shot. And dude was so clean. I was like, dude, how is he just not doing this in games? Like, how are we not getting him these looks, or how are we not getting these plays drawn up for him? Because I feel like getting a guy like Evan Mobley the ball at the top of the key is such a easy thing to do. I could be wrong. You have Jared Allen down in the post and you have him at the top of the key. I feel like that's just a basic high school play, but it was so, I guess, just, I'm trying to think of the right way to articulate this in the sense that, hey, I'm so hopeful for the future of his career where he develops into a confident young shooter as a 7-footer.
And it's not the quickest release. Like, that's my beef on him in games. And obviously he's a rookie, but when I watch him shoot, I'm like, oh, it's a little slow. And usually when you come in the league, it is. But it's like, who really cares? He's 7 foot tall. Like, who's blocking him? So that's what I'm hoping. Another silver lining thing tonight. Like, let's get him 5 or 6 shots. If he takes two or three threes, I'm not really going to care.
In a game where Karis LeVert and Darius Garland are out, this is my prime example of hey, your 2 top scoring options are out. You can shoot the ball. We know you can shoot the ball. Go ahead and take some shots. I'm fine with you taking shots and missing, as opposed to you just being a little bit too passive and just going for the easy stuff.
Logan, how did you enjoy Saturday night?
It was really cool. I mean, one, you have Team Cleveland, and they win.
You're all wrong about that. Thankfully.
Right? I mean, that's incredible. Here's what I'll say. 2 things. One, Scotty Barnes, stop it. Just stop it. I don't want to ever hear his – he missed 4 3-footers in a row.
Oh, God. He was bad.
Folders, Raptor players with mentals in Cleveland love it.
Yes, it's a skills challenge. Does it really matter? No, not at all.
It's
but
still funny, though.
At the end of the day, the skills challenge shows what players have the skills, who has the capability, and can do more with who they are, right? Mobley's a big man, and he moves very well. What I'm going to say about the open looks and the fact that he has such a clean stroke, why is he not knocking him down in games? I think a simple solution, get some more off-ball screens for Evan Mobley. Have him start in the right corner. Have someone give him an off-ball screen. Have him attack towards the middle of the lane from the left side, right side, and catch the ball and shoot right at that elbow. Because like you said, Jeff, he's got a slow release. Mm-hmm. But if you put him in a situation where he's got a second or two to set himself real quick on those moves, that's the way to go. His three-point percentage is, I think, down to 26% now in the season. I think it started pretty high. But the thing is, I also think he hasn't had that great of looks over the last number of games. He's had a couple, he's missed their wide open. When you don't have a rhythm, you don't have a rhythm. I think a way to build up that rhythm is get some off-ball screens for him, have him moving, get him to his spots, and then let him shoot. because we know he can do it. We know he can shoot. He's been flat on pretty much every shot, from downtown ever since probably, I don't know, 25 games in, I would say, is when it started going and struggling. But you saw tonight or on Saturday in the skills challenge, when he has the rhythm, when he has the movement, when he knows that's the thing. When he knows exactly where he's going on a floor, like in that skills challenge, he has spots he's supposed to go to and shoot and make those spots. It makes it so much easier for him. So if you run a play for him, if you do these off-ball screens, but mobile, you're getting to this elbow and just fire it.
Yeah.
Maybe simplifies the game for him, gets him a rhythm, and then he starts knocking them down more through the last 24 games.
That's a really underrated point too, because I feel like our offense is king at there's 5 or 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and I don't think anybody out there, even the person with the ball, knows what's going to happen. And he does the skills challenge. It's run. It's shoot, run, shoot again. And in real time, it's he doesn't know what to do sometimes. Maybe he's looking to pass right at the end of the shot clock, and it does result in some flat shots. But we're almost done here. We're 25 minutes in, and it's the best part of the show. If you don't watch this long, we feel bad for you, because this is easily the best part of the show. We act like we know a bunch of things, and we really, mostly know nothing. We got some almost shakeups in the standings. We have Logan, first place still. 26 correctly chosen games for the Cavaliers and 13 wrong.
Damn, he's good.
Going away.
Justin, 23-16.
Bye-bye, Justin.
And a clean sweep from me last week, or whenever we did this last, and I'm now 22-17. So I'm a game behind. And
Justin,
I think we lost Jeff.
Right?
I think we lost Jeff there for a second, everyone. Jeff, if you can hear us, we lost you for
I'm back.
a minute.
You're back now. Okay, all right.
What's up?
You are very grainy.
22-17.
Yeah.
All right, Logan, start us off. We're at Detroit.
We're at Detroit tonight. We're going to lose. Tonight we're losing to Detroit at Little Caesars.
Didn't think about it at all.
No, I came in ready to say we're going to lose this game. I made the mistake last time I played Detroit in Detroit, and we had Garland to say we were going to win. I think tonight, fresh off the All-Star break. No, now I'm second-guessing it. God bless it.
Love this.
Now I'm
Logan, you have room to make mistakes. I, unfortunately, do not.
Not really.
Listen, what are you doing, Mo? Where are you picking?
I can't tell you that.
There's no room to make any mistakes.
I am currently in second place with Jeff right on my heels. I cannot answer that question.
I'm saying we're losing. I'm just going to stay with it. I think Cade Cunningham's going to have himself a day. I think Mobley might do the same. I don't know. I think the Pistons, they've been playing much better basketball as of late. They just got Kelly Olynyk back, who, we all know Kelly Olynyk, but he's actually been playing pretty good ball for them. Sadiq Bey, just forget it. Yeah, Detroit's winning. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm leaving it at that.
All right, I think I'm going next, technically, in the roundabout. And here's the thing. If I could go into a little dialogue. We're at the point of the year where you got to understand the All-Star game, for whatever reason, is not in the middle of the season. I've never understood this. I'm sure it has to do with marketing, whatever. They want to play the finals in May. Who knows?
Right.
You got to take into account now that the Pistons are in tank mode. They're in complete tanker mode. There's only 20 games left. What game are we at? 50 or what are we at? Almost 60? What are we? 35 and 23. We're 58 games in. So 24, 25 games left. I'm going win tonight. The Pistons will be winning all game, and they're going to throw it in the fourth quarter to tank. They need the most lottery balls. They need to have the worst record. They're real close. They're right there. So I'm going for a tank.
I'm going to go with Jeff on this one. I'm going to go win. Hopefully, Jeff and I catch a game on you, and I keep the distance between me and Jeff at 1.
I'm in for
so
that.
If you guys go 3-0, I go 0-3. I'm still tied with you, Justin, right?
23, yes. If you went 0-3 and I went 3-0, we'll see. I mean, you have to make. I'll go off of your decisions. I don't know that I'll agree with them or disagree, but we'll see.
Well, Logan, we're back up to you, and I'm just making all these predictions like we're not going to have Garland or Levert, really. Just as my baseline, but we're at home, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, first game at home out of the break versus the Washington Wizards.
Dub. I'm giving us a dub here. We've been playing so well at home as of late. The Cleveland's buzzing from the All-Star game still. I don't care about Kristaps, poor freaking Zingas.
I forgot about that even happened.
I'm not even worried about him. I got us winning at Cleveland simply because we're in Cleveland. Hopefully maybe Garland just happens to step in for a little hello and comes back in. And hopefully Lauri's there by then if he's not tonight.
I like that.
That's what I'm hoping as well.
I'm going to follow suit. I'm going to go with win there, too.
Oh, so we're going clean sweep here with the Wizards because I'm going to say we beat the Wizards as well.
Clean sweep? What do you mean? Haven't we lost to them?
No, I mean, all of us are saying we're going to beat the Wizards.
Gotcha.
But
We're never thinking the same thing, Logan.
I think Kuzma's going to be trying because he's always trying. And I forgot they had Kristaps. But, yeah, if Garland plays and if Garland, Markkanen play, I'm going to feel extremely confident about that game.
Yeah.
And 2/28/22, I believe that's Monday, and we'll be back with episode 19 on Tuesday, but we will be playing at home again. We're playing on the 24th, the 26th, and 28th. I like all those intervals of rest, and we're playing Minnesota to finish out this 3-game stretch of predictions. Logan?
This one's the toughest one to predict. Minnesota is actually playing very well this season.
Yep.
I think Karl-Anthony Towns is seeing, oceans right now in those Cavalier hoops, considering he just won a 3-point contest. He's playing well. Obviously, they have Anthony Edwards. You have the pest and Patrick Beverly, and of course, oh my God, why am I blanking?
Potential D'Angelo Russell.
Right. God, I couldn't think of their starting point guard. This one's tough.
Yeah, I agree.
If Garland was playing, I'd say win. Considering I have no idea, I lean towards loss. We also beat the crap out of Minnesota earlier this year in Minnesota. You know what? I'm going to say this is a good win. I think 2-1's a little bit out there, but I'm going to go ahead and say win.
That's interesting. I'm in complete agreement with Logan. This is probably the toughest game. I feel like the thing with the Timberwolves, and it's been consistent for them through so many seasons since I think, we traded Andrew Wiggins there, is that they've had good rosters. I think this is the best roster they've had in years, yet somehow they always find a way to kind of let things fizzle out. And Karl-Anthony Towns coming off of that 3-point competition, being a winner and everything, that's great for him. But Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell, have they figured it out between the two of them yet? Have they gotten the chemistry down between point guard and shooting guard that's so important in the league? I just don't know. I think that's my biggest contractor is like, hey, those two, if they're not in sync, I think that's a very beatable team.
Right.
But do we have Darius Garland? Karis LeVert probably not going to be back for this game.
Win or loss?
I'm going to go with a loss. I can't go 3 in a row. I'm going to go with a loss here.
So 2-1 for you. I'm saying loss as well. I'm going to agree with Justin. It's going to be interesting how it shakes out. It's Cavs Encapsulated. This was episode 18. Comment down below what you think the next 3 games. Pistons, Wizards, Timberwolves, what we're going to do, what's going to happen. And make sure that you subscribe, like I said. And we will see you Tuesday. It's a weird Thursday show, but we'll see you next Tuesday. And before then, make sure, let them know.